going to start this video off with a warning because this video is not for people who want to stay the same. It's not for people who are attached to their old story. And it's definitely not for people who want results someday. This video is for people who are ready to shift timelines now, who are ready to step into the version of themselves that already has the money, that already has the love, that already has the success, that already has the peace, and step into that version of themselves, has all that without any delay whatsoever. I'm going to give to you one single thought, a single perspective that when you actually apply it, it will collapse timelines instantly. But before we get there, I want you to remember something that Neville Goddard has said. And Neville Goddard says, change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. In other words, what that means is you don't shift the timeline by changing the world. You shift the timeline by changing you, your identity, your assumption, and the way that you relate to life. So right now, if you're feeling stuck or you're feeling frustrated or you're feeling like things are just taking too long, I want you to lean in, okay? Because what you're about to hear in this video, I believe will unlock something massive in your life if you allow it. Before we get started though, I am currently giving away a free Raise Your Vibration Instantly meditation. This meditation is very powerful. It's going to help calm any resistant thoughts you might have, thus raising your vibration, thus allowing you to bring in more of what you want into your life. If you're interested in this meditation, there's a link in the top of the description box below. Please click that, download it. I know you're absolutely going to love it. All right, so let's start with what it means to actually collapse a timeline. So understand this, every possibility already exists. Right now, there is a version of you who is already in the relationship, who is already financially free, who's already healed and whole and fulfilled. You're not trying to create that version. You're trying to select it. That's it. Neville Goddard taught us that all states already exist. You're not manifesting something from nothing, okay? You're simply moving into a reality where that version of you is already the truth. So when we say, collapse a timeline, or when you hear someone say collapse a timeline, what this means is you are moving from the version of you who is trying to the version of you who is already being. And that shift doesn't take time. It just takes a decision. It just takes a moment. It takes a single shift of awareness. And that's it. That's why so many people experience what's called quantum leaps, or basically overnight manifestations. It's not that reality caught up. It's that they themselves did. So I want to share with you the one thought that truly changes everything, the one perspective that really changes everything. Are you ready to hear it? Well, here it is. It's not happening later. It's happening now. Let that sink in for a second. It's not happening later. It's happening now. Yes. See, most people live their entire life in a delayed version of reality. They think like, oh, well, it's coming soon, or eventually this will work itself out, or one day I'll have what I want. But all that energy is rooted in waiting. And when you wait for your manifestation, you're basically just declaring that you don't have it. You're reinforcing the absence. And Neville Goddard said very clearly, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, okay? Not assume the feeling of waiting for it to fulfill, right? Not assume the feeling of it's almost there. No, assume the feeling that it's fulfilled, that it's done, that it's now. So the timeline doesn't collapse when you try harder. It collapses when you stop identifying with the version of you that was waiting for something, right? You stepped into the version of you who already has it. And from that place, reality begins to bend over backwards and rearrange itself very, very quickly. So let me put it to you like this. If you woke up tomorrow and your manifestation was already done, how would you feel? How would you feel? Whatever it was, if it was already done, how would you feel? How would you walk? How would you talk? How would you breathe? How would you show up? Would you still be checking for signs? Would you still be doubting? Would you still be, scrolling through social media and all that stuff? Or would you feel settled? Would you feel centered? Would you feel grateful, and would you feel grounded? That's the state that collapses the timelines, not because you're trying to get something, but because you've remembered who you are. Neville Goddard didn't teach techniques. He taught identity shifts. He taught people how to assume a state and let that state do the work. So today, I really want you to make that shift, to go from waiting to knowing, from hoping to being, from when will this happen to it already did. Because when you really anchor yourself into that knowing, things happen very, very quickly. People return, money appears, opportunities unfold. Again, not because you're forcing it, but because you finally aligned with the version of you that was always available. So let's say it again together. It's not happening later. It's happening now. Yes. Let that be your new lens. Let that be your new standard, because the moment you say it and the moment you truly mean it is the moment the timeline bends. You don't need to beg. You don't need to chase. You don't even need to keep asking things. You just need to embody the end. That's it. Now, it's Neville Goddard that said it only takes 3 days to manifest what you want. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, if there's something that you want to bring in that you might think is a little bit bigger, maybe a bit out of reach, technically speaking, it only takes 3 days to truly bring it in. I want to share more about that in this video right here, so be sure to check it out next.